Hello everybody, it's so great to have you back here on my channel Visualized NZ. My name is Belinda. Yesterday in my video I created these book page ticket strips, and I used an atlas page, a sheet music page, magazine page and a children's book page. So today I'm going to decorate them up because I had so much fun creating these, and I just want to see what they look like once they're completed. So I don't know how far I'm going to get, but let's just crack into it. This is the children's book page one. It's out of Arabian Nights, a 1968 book. It's quite thick paper, so nice and sturdy. Now I have gone ahead and done most of the back with paper because I didn't do it prior to making the strip. So I do recommend backing it if you want it backed prior to doing the cutting, the folding and the cutting. But if you don't, if like me you decide after the fact that that's what you want to do, I'll show you what I did to get my shape so that the pieces of paper I line it with are roughly fitting, you know, and I think they actually look quite good there. So what I did is I grabbed a bit of my paper that I wanted to back, and I laid one of my tickets, just the end ticket, down on my paper and drew around it. Oh sorry, actually I did it on a bit of tissue box. Drew around it on my tissue box and then flipped up the side so I could get this side. So they had a pencil outline. Then I trimmed that up to make my ticket shape. Now I did find the corners got a bit funky and weren't quite matching up, possibly because when I folded this and cut it, the paper moved, so some of them aren't exactly the same size. So I grabbed my corner template and just went round and just redid the corners to make sure they were all the same shape. Hopefully you're following along with this. Then I laid this on and just traced around it 8 times because I have 8 segments on the strip, and then I cut them out inside the line and glued them on. So now it takes a little bit of extra time, a little bit more fiddly, but actually it hasn't really taken me that long. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this last one out and get that stuck down. So I'm making sure that I'm cutting inside my pencil line, otherwise it kind of keeps growing bigger and you'll end up with bits that don't actually fit that nicely where you want them to fit. Hopefully that makes sense. So just trimming up this last one, and then I'm going to do a bit of decorating on the front. Now I'm not going to do too much with this one because I want the pictures to, or the picture, that's one big picture, to really shine. I don't want to overshadow the picture. I want it to be the focal point. So I'm just going to add a few little bits and pieces here and there to accent the picture really. Just using my glue stick. And lining it up. And I'm not worried about it being perfect. It looks good. I think it looks good. And there we have ability to write quite a reasonable amount really, and you could use it as like more of a bullet list if people wanted to use it and make notes on something, or addresses, birthdays, like the uses, so many uses. The other thing I did off camera with this is I did ink all around each ticket, so including the fold lines on both sides, and I did round the edges on both sides. So that I did that off camera because I thought you probably wouldn't want to see me do all that. So I'm just going to redo this one where I just stuck that bit of paper down just so it catches the edges of that paper. So that's that side. This one I am planning on having as a concertina to tuck inside. Actually I folded that the wrong way. I want the image to be on the first ticket. Tuck that into a pocket or a tuck spot and you've got this lovely hidden journaling space there. Right, so let's think about the front. So I've got this blank space down here where I thought it would be really nice to have a word or something along those lines. So let's grab out my stamped words that I've already got done and see if we can find something that will fit size-wise, but also fit sentiment-wise. Kind of think like if I had an explore or adventure or something like that would be nice. I'm not sure if I do. Maybe moments might be as close as I can get. I'll just have a little fossick through here. I never seem to have the right words in my stamps. And if I do have the right word, then it's invariably not the right size. It's just typical, isn't it? Just all discoveries. What about discoveries? Yes, I like discoveries. I think that fits with what's going on in the picture. So let's go with that one. And maybe a little bit of book page behind it. Fossicking in my bin for the right packet. So what sort of book page do I want? This is quite yellowy or aged looking, so maybe a bit of dictionary page, nice and small text. That could be quite nice. So I don't want it too big. Don't really want it across the bird's legs if possible. Yes, I like that. So I'm just going to give both a little bit of ink just to tie it in with the rest. So if you haven't seen the making of these and you're interested in how to do it, what the process is, then hop along to yesterday's video. It's called something along the lines of making ticket ephemera using book pages. Something along those lines. A lot of fun. Just pop my little word there. Normally I'd do this the other way around, but however I just popped glue on the thing I was holding at the time. Normally I'd put the first layer down, then the second layer. Right, here we go. So that's the bottom there. Now tickets generally have numbers on, so I'm going to grab out my number stamps here. These are just a cheap set off of AliExpress. You can still get this set. I've had this for a wee while, but it is still available if you search for number stamps. And what? I'm not going to number each segment. You could number each segment, but I just want to pop. So I've got a wee number symbol here, an NO with a dot. So I'm just going to pop that somewhere. Maybe up on this first segment, because this is what's going to be seen first. And I did have a wet wipe. Where's my wet wipe gone? Did I throw it out? I might have thrown it out. So I'm just going to grab out a new one so I can clean off my stamps as I go. And building a number. So I stamp these individually and randomly, like I make up random numbers, whatever I am feeling at the time. So let's put a number down here. So I'm going to start with a couple of zeros, and I don't care if it's straight or not. I mean, I'll try and get it straightish, but if it goes up and down, I just think it lends more authenticity to that, a handmade vibe, but also a old vibe. And this image is very vintage looking. So let's do a 5 and maybe one more number. Let's go with a 7. So it'll be number 57. Here we go. I'm kind of wanting to put another 1 on the end, so I'm going to use another 0, and it'll now turn it into a 570. Oops, stick to my block little number. Here we go. Didn't want to stick because I was trying to put it on a wet place where the baby wipe had made the block wet. Very useful set of numbers these, I love them. Okay, so there we've got a number. Now I am thinking of just adding a little bit of script here and there. Where's my backing sheet gone? What have I done with it? Oh, there it is. There's the trouble with clear plastic, you can't see where you popped it. Now, did I grab out my script stamp is the question. I've got this one, which I love, but I'm thinking something different, and I've got this smaller one, or this one. This one is tiny, tiny, tiny writing. This is another set off AliExpress, which I got just a few months back. Let's try this really small script text. It's not really script in terms of flowing, it's more, gosh, my block's so dirty I can't even see which way up the stamp goes. And I need a drop page behind so I can not stamp all over my mat. And my eyes are being silly, so I'm finding it very hard to see which way is up. I might have to stamp it off first so I can see whether it's the right way up. Oh yes, that's the right way. Okay. Just going to add a little bit of detail, not worrying about getting it stamping properly. It's just some background detail. Okay, so that's enough of that one, and then I might go for the more scripty one as well, just to build up that interest and fill some of those gaps. Okay, now do we want this now? Actually, this might be quite good. I'm thinking to go between the tickets so it carries over. So let's try. Oh, I didn't get enough of it carrying over. So let's go down here. On the bird, I don't mind if it goes on the bird. Yep, that's kind of cool. And maybe just on the very edge here. Yep, I think that's quite cool. Just building up. And I think that's enough for this particular one because it's got that image. And hopefully you can see just all that detail in the camera. So really happy with that. So that will fold up and get tucked in a journal somewhere. Super cool. Love it. Right, so next one. Next one is this atlas map. I'll just move this out of the way so it doesn't interfere. So I did go ahead and on the video where I made these, I showed how to perforate with a sharp needle or pointy tool or awl, and then tear it through those holes that you made to give the raggedy edge. This edge I did with the tool, and you can see that, well, you may not be able to see it because it's really quite tiny on this edge, and then tore along the ruler. So this one's got more of a ruler torn edge, and these ones I would use as just a single ticket to tuck into a pocket rather than leave them in the strip like I did with this story one. These would be individually popped into a little tuck spot or into a tiny wee tocket. There you go, there's a new word for you. Into a tiny little pocket. So with these ones, I am thinking doing some little pen work. So I just want to go around. Please excuse, going a bit froggy. Just running my pen around and giving it a little border. And I just want the sort of hand-drawn, rough, not quite straight look is what I'm going for there. So I'm not trying to be all perfect. I'll do this one as well, just to give it a different look. And this atlas paper is matte paper, so it's not shiny. Shouldn't smear, hopefully. Just give it a little border like so. Then again, I want to do some numbers, and I'm thinking a little stamp, icon stamp of something. So I've picked out some small stamps that might work. This little fly, I think it might be. Let's try him. And what colour do I want? I think I'm going to stick with black just for now. And I want you flying that way, I think. There we go, little fly. And this map says Jefferson City. So let's put a fly on Jefferson City. My apologies if that's where you live. There we go. So I've got a couple of flies. There he goes. Go back there. Now I'm just going to cut these apart. So I'm oh my gosh, sorry, my voice keeps going froggy. I am just going to cut these apart rather than take the time to do the perforations and tear them. I'm just going to snip them apart with my scissors, which is a perfectly valid way to cut your tickets out if you don't want the perforations. Just trying to show you a variety of ideas, a lot of them as they're occurring to me. Just having a really good play and having some fun. It's fun decorating. It's fun creating cute little things to use in our journals. And these are just really cool to add to your own personal journal as well. It's not just for journal makers. The other thing with these tickets is, if I just quickly ink up one, they make really good page tabs. So whatever shape they happen to be, you can ink it in whatever colour if you want to ink, then fold it in half, like so, and there you've got a cute little page tab. So you can wrap it around your page, you can have it stick out, or you can have it right in against the thing. And you can also put a number on it for the date. So if you like to date your pages, if you're a journaler, then just stamp or draw a number on there. So what's today? today when I'm recording this is the 20, I'm not sure to be honest. So I know, what am I trying to say? I am trying to say I don't know what day it is today because I can't see a date in front of me. So I'm just going to write a date, a future date. So let's go the 29th, and I'm just going to draw in a black Pitt pen. Use whatever pen you like and whatever colour you like in there. So I will use it as a page tab for the 29th, and it's got the date on it already. And I could on this side do the previous day's date if I wanted, but you don't have to. So there's an idea for these tickets as well. You can use them as page tabs or date placements. So you could also use it as is. I inked this one, but I didn't give it a border. So why not give it a border as well, just while we're at it. So this is a Artline pen that I'm using. It's a 0.4. So it's thinner than a standard biro, but not super thin. Here we go. So cute little page tab. You can also use it on your page. So imagine this tiny little dictionary page as your journal page, and pop it in a corner or on the side. So you could write your number 29, or you could write this way and do 29. You could do the day of the week it is as well, whatever the 29th is. Tuesday, I think. So Tuesday, 29th. You know, so you can use these like a label as well, because they kind of look like a label as too. What sets them apart, I think, is having some form of numbering on them. Well, in my head anyway, that's what I consider part of the main difference. So let's take these two wee flies. Actually, I'm going to stamp up these other ones first. I might as well do them all at once. So choose what side I want. Might have some blue on that one. That side. That side. Might go that way. Oh, actually, no, that way and that way. Okay, just to give myself a variety of looks, and let's see what other stamps we can use. I've got some leaves here. They might be quite nice. Oh, if I can get it off the backing. Gosh, it's stuck down very well. Okay, so cute wee leaves. So let's see what they look like. Put those down in the opposite corner just for a change. Cute. And then I'm going to do them in a different direction and at the top instead. There we go. Some leaves. Doing a variety just so you can see, you know, what might appeal to you, or if you don't have like for example a fly stamp, then you know what else might use. Okay, let's go for some Christmas. Got a wee holly leaf here. So these are not Christmas colours at all on these tickets, but I'm not worried about that. Oh, I was going for the berries. Actually, why not use the berries? Let's use the wee sprig of berries, because we've got leaves, so we'll use something else. And I haven't used this particular stamp, so let's see what it looks like. And you could even go in and add some colour as well, like colour in the wee berries if you wanted. Right, cute. Cute. And we've got one more, so let's see what we might like on that one. Actually, I've got this Kaisercraft set. Actually, this one this quote, "A friend is one of the nicest things to have and one of the nicest things to be." I referred to it in a video earlier this week and I couldn't remember the brand. So there we go, Kaisercraft. And it's got this wee teddy. I'm wondering whether he will fit. We'll soon find out. Oh, I might put my paper in behind. Might go over the edges just a little. But I think he'd be very cute. Oh yes, I just snipped off his foot there a little bit. I don't think he hurt in the process. But yes, super cute little teddy bear. Can you see him properly? I know it's quite tiny and I haven't brought you low down for this. A cute little teddy bear. Okay, so just exploring options. Right, now some numbers. So I'll get that out the way so you can see better, because I think that you'll see better without it. And let's do some numbers again. So there are some numbers, just plain ones, 1 till 5, with their number symbol, the NO in it. So let's do one of those just so you can see, you know, if you don't have individual numbers, maybe you've got something like this, or a Tim Holtz set where the numbers are already pre-done. They all work very well. Now, of course, you might not want the number in here either, the number symbol. You might just want the actual digits. So there's one with just a number 4 on it. Let's see, you might have bigger numbers. So let's use some bigger numbers. I'm going to start with an 8. The paper keeps sticking with the ink to my stamp, and I'm going to put an 8 here as well, maybe at the end though. And this is often the way I build my numbers. I get a number and then I position it in different places so that for the session I've got completely unique numbers but using the same digits, if that makes sense. So let's go with a 4. So I'm going to put a 4 in front of the 8 over here, and a 4 after the 8 on this one. And then sometimes I might switch out for the last one and put totally different. Just depends on my mood and what numbers are calling me. Right, so let's go 841 on this one. And 148 on this one. Here we go. So there's those two. Right, now let's go back to my little mini numbers. Let's start with a 2 and do it down the bottom. Actually, I might do the 2 2s and not the ballet skirt. And let's go with a 9. So get a 229. Yep, I like that. So I'm going to keep the 9 and I might do a vertical number. And this is the beauty of not only of having the individual numbers. You can make up whatever number you like, but you can also stamp it in different directions. You could do diagonally or round in a circle. Like, you could do all sorts of things. So this is probably one of my most used stamp sets in my whole kit. I've used it so often. And let's go 935 for this one. I seem to be stuck in a, oops, where'd you go, wee stamp? Here we go. Stuck in a 3-digit numbers at the moment. There. Oh, I really like the vertical number. I think that's cool. Super cool. And I haven't given these a border. You don't have to give them a border. You can do whatever you like, however you want to decorate them. Okay, so we've got 2 more of these. Let's go ahead and finish those. I might go for one of these really big. Will it fit? It'll fit on the top one. So let's put a number 2. So we've got a nice good amount of space there. Number 2 on that one. And our last one, I think I'll just go numbers again without the NO. Start with a 0, and maybe I'll do another vertical one. So I'm going to be 0, 0, and I'll see whether I can fit in 4 digits. So let's go 7, just because. Oops. And a 4. Let's go a 4. Cool. I do like the vertical. That's cool. It's first time, I must admit, first time I've actually done the vertical numbering. And I like it. I do. Right, so there we've got, move these out the way, individual little tickets, just with a bit of stamping, and some of them I've done a border on. So there we go. And where's that other one? Here's the wee page tab one, just as another idea of using these tickets as a page tab. And of course, inking around these, hopefully the ink's still a bit wet. So where's maybe this one? It was one of the earlier ones I did, just in case it does decide to smear. So I'm not going to ink them all on camera. I'm not going to put you through that, guys, don't worry. But I just want to show you a completed one with the inking. And depending what journal, so I'm not going to ink these ahead of time, I don't think, because it might depend on what journal I want to put it in. If it was in my Playful Days journal, then I might want to go with a nice bright ink, a colour ink. Although my Playful Days journal, I am using the Vintage Photo as part of that, so probably not a great example. But there we go. There's a set of cute little tickets, just very, very simple, with a little bit of added stamping. Okay, so now I need to put those aside without messing them up. And if the ink is still wet, I thought it was completely matte paper, but I think it's got more of a satin finish now. And so the ink, I can see in places, is not completely dry. So just popping them up where they might be, have an opportunity to dry without smearing. Sorry, I just had to pause you while I blew my nose. My irritated eyes are just making my nose run. It's weird. Okay, so this really pretty, I'm not sure, I said in my video yesterday that it was pink grapefruit, but I'm now thinking that maybe it's a blood orange. But whatever it is, it's so pretty. I love it. The colours are gorgeous. And for this one, I'm thinking that I want to turn it into a belly band. So I'm going to trim off these end 2 tickets. And they can be tickets. And then this is too tall. I don't think, I'm not sure whether this is a standard size page or not. It's a bit of grocery bag. Yeah, I think it is actually the right size. So just thought I'd check. And basically where the 2 corners are, if I cut it off at that 2 points, then it's going to fit my page. So across where, will I just use scissors? Try and get it straight. cut it off there and same place in the top so it's balanced. That should fit nicely on my page, hopefully. Yep, there we go. So I think that makes a really pretty, interesting belly band, but it is magazine paper, and not the lightest of magazine paper, like it's not a cheap magazine, but it's still reasonably flimsy, so I do want to give it some sturdiness by backing it. So I'm going to grab out my accounting software book that I rescued from husband's work in the recycle bin, because the back's not going to be seen, so it doesn't matter what the backing is. Ooh. It's quite hard to tear out of this book. Grab a page of that. You can use whatever you like to back. This just is free, and because it's not going to be seen, I'm not worried. Now we will lose the fact that it's tickets, essentially, but in this case, like, the pattern is so pretty on the paper, and we've got this little chinky detail. So I am just going to glue the whole thing down. In fact, I'm going to use this paper as my glue page as well. And then I'm just going to trim around all those little humps and hollows. Oops. Glue everywhere. Grab my card and give it a smooth out. So pretty. I'm actually using something that I find pretty. I'm not just stashing it away for some other day where it will actually just sit. So I'm super happy. I'm actually using something I love and creating something that is gorgeous just because what I'm using is gorgeous. I don't know. I'm raving, aren't I? I'm raving about this particular magazine image, but I truly do love it. Just find the colours are so bright. It's a very good photo. It's all in focus. And it's just, yeah, just lovely. And it actually makes my mouth water too. Like the juiciness of the fruit in the photo. You can see the juiciness and it's just like, yum, yum, yum. Cleaning up my rubbish as I go. It's usually what I do because I don't like it getting in my way. I feel cluttered when it's left sitting on my desk. I don't like it. Okay, so for these little bits, I could go in like this and do each cut, but I think there's an easier way. I think it would be easier if I folded it back up along the lines and then just trimmed each bit, so I'd only need to make essentially one cut for each chink. But I don't want to do that while the glue's wet, otherwise it's going to move, and when I unfold it, they're going to be puckered and creased and weird. So I need to wait for the glue to dry. So essentially this is the belly band. I don't know whether I'm going to add anything on top because I honestly just love it as is. I will probably ink around it. I definitely will ink around it. So I'm going to just leave that one because I'm going to wait for the glue to dry before I mess with it, because I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to ruin it. Okay, so I've got these two little tickets left over. So I'm going to cut those apart. And what do I want to do with these? They're so pretty. So pretty. I'm a bit hesitant to stamp on them because they're shiny. So I have some words and some numbers that are already So these are stamped numbers. So we could go with something that's already stamped. This one's, the ink's run a little bit, but it's kind of fun. Put one. Not sure whether I like this one or not. Let's see what else. Would a pink one go? Don't know, pink might. Yeah, not the right colour at all. No. This one might work though. I think I like that one better. But I think I just want the number. I don't want this number symbol at the beginning. So I'm just going to trim that down. And trim off this little bit at the top. Like that. Yep, so let's go with numbers. And do we want a word as well? Don't want to take away too much from the background, like, because I love the background. Yep, no, don't want words. I think it's too much the same, too rectangular. Not doing it for me. Okay, what else? Okay, I have some pre-stamped bugs and butterflies and things, and flowers and birds. I have a feeling I'm not going to find something that makes me happy. Or maybe an orange butterfly. Let's give it a go. Just do a bit of fussy cutting, sorry. Sometimes it takes a while to find the thing that just goes, yep, that's it. And other times you can put your hand straight to it and it's, yep, I like that. And then sometimes you find something, you go, oh, that's not bad, but is there something better? That's why it takes me so long, because I'm sometimes quite indecisive about whether it's the right element or not. So this will probably be the last one that I do in this video, because we're getting on in time. So I haven't got the music sheet one done, and I'm not sure what I want to do with it anyway, so which way I want to handle it. So we'll do these two and then call it a video. Oh yes, I like that. I do like that. So I'm just going to give it a little, help it stand out a little bit, because I've chosen the colour out of what I had specifically because it does tie in with the background while still being a little bit different. Just a wee bit of ink just helps to push it out a little more from the background. And these will be just tucked in a pocket or tuck spot, and the backs of them are quite nice. There's mushrooms on the back, another full page image from the magazine. I'll just flick it over. So that's quite pretty as well. I'm just going to leave that as is. I'm not going to worry about backing it with anything for writing or covering over something I don't want because it's not pretty, because it's pretty anyway. So this will just be a little decorative bit of ephemera to pop in a journal. And I should have probably inked around the number, but never mind. It's down now. It is, like I was saying before, it is lightish paper, but it's not going to get a lot of too much handling, so I think it will be fine. Here we go. I think that's cute. Cute. Right, now this one, I'll go ahead and put the number down and then see what we can add to this one. I do have another one of those butterflies, but see if we can find something different for this one. Oops. Okay. Glue everywhere. So we have some wee bees, probably a wee bit small, slightly bigger bee, or a even bigger bee. Not sure. Let's try it. Just going to fussy cut it, but with a border, just because it's got some fine legs and antennae. And this has been stamped on a creamy colour sort of paper. Sweet bee. My tummy is starting to tell me it's getting hungry. It's been a few hours since breakfast, I guess, and we're getting close to lunchtime now. Yeah, I think that wee bee's cute. Just again, give it a little bit of a distress edge, and around this as well. So again, because this is shiny paper, I need to be careful I don't smear the ink before it's dry. Should be fine once it's dry. Okay, don't need you tiny, tiny bees. There we go. Here's another one done. So just very simple decorations that I'm adding to them. I tend to go perhaps not far enough, keeping them fairly simple. If you want more layers, do more layers. Like, could add a bit of book page in behind those elements, a bit of music paper, but I didn't want to cover up too much of that background because honestly I just find it so pretty. So just pulling back the ones that we got done. The belly band, which I've yet to complete up, finish that up, and then this little concertina ticket strip with a bit of stamping on and a bit of embellishment and writing on the back. This, I just love this. I think this is so cool, and to find an image that just works like that was a great find. Okay, so there we go. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. Please leave me a thumbs up and a comment if you enjoyed the video. Consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you want to see more content from me. Thanks for joining me today, and I shall see you next time. Bye for now.